The heifers that came into the parlour this year were all the first of the heifers that we genotyped as calves. And we said we'd go hell for leather with that system, that whatever it says on the genotype for fat and protein, that we'll pick those heifers as our replacements ones. And to be honest with you, we're really impressed with it now. It has correlated very well, and we'll have no problem continuing going with that.
Last week saw the Ryan family, 2025 winners of the NDC and Kerrygold Quality Milk Awards, host a farm walk on their farm outside Thurles in County Tipperary. Some of the comments of the judges, Karina Pearce, David Gleeson and Patrick Wall, about the farm were a herd of exceptional quality, outstanding stockmanship and attention to detail in every aspect of the operation. A large crowd attended on the day to hear how the Ryans run their farm to a standard that saw them crowned champions for 2025. What is also worth noting is that the Ryans were runners-up in the same competition in 2018, demonstrating a tradition of excellence. I spoke to Tom and Michael Ryan, two of the three people driving this farm. Tom's wife Mary looks after the paperwork to allow Tom and Michael to do what they are good at. I started by asking Tom to give us a bit of background to their farm.
Can trace back to the 1860s. The family are here. Michael is the fifth generation farming here in the Sheen. It's always been a family farm, mixed farm, a little bit of everything, and it's only in recent years it has changed to being mainly dairy farm. It's a great farming area. It's easy land to manage, and great community around us, great farmers, and it's a nice lifestyle.
Very good. So I think you're making a little bit light of it there. It is a good part of the country for farming, but it isn't always that easy necessarily. But I suppose Thomas said there, Michael, about the fact that it was a mixed farm and that over time you've gradually progressed into more and more cows. That coincided with you coming home as well. Now Tom was increasing the numbers a little bit as well after quota, but I presume it was all with the intention of you coming home. You had decided that there's a lot of talk about generation renewal, and then I absolutely love looking at the two of you working together because you get on so well. It's great to see. So just, I suppose, explain you went to Waterford and you decided to come home farming, and I suppose give us the rationale behind coming home farming and what you had to do in order to make it work, I suppose, for you to come home.
Yeah, sure. I suppose in order to make it work anyway, we went more specialised into the dairy. We got rid of the tillage and the calf to beef side of it anyway. To justify two lads here, you have to have two incomes, or a good enough income stream to support two lads anyway. And going the specialised dairy route was kind of the no-brainer that way. There was already a good herd of 70 to 80 cows here anyway, and everything was been done well. So done efficiently anyway, so we just kind of said that we'd expand on that, and the removal of quotas allowed all that to happen anyway. Without the removal of quotas, I probably wouldn't have been able to come home too. So Tom was, I suppose the removal of quotas probably, Tom would have went up a few numbers himself anyway, but the fact I was coming home anyway, it was kind of more gung-ho, I suppose. I went to Waterford, did 4 years down there. We went into partnership when I was in third year, and we applied for the TAMs on the parlour, built the collecting yard tank the 2017 and built the rest of the parlour in 2018, and I'm sure we've been kind of building ever since, I suppose, too, to a certain degree. But the generational renewal, we entered into a farm partnership anyway. Everything was well laid out before we entered into it. It was well communicated anyway, what we both wanted to do and what we were both going to do anyway, whether it be time off or anything like that. And sure, Tom was very easy to get on with anyway. I like to think I'm some bit easy to get on with anyway. But we kind of work well together, and Tom was doing it at such a high level anyway. And seeing it being done at high level all the way up along, it was very attractive to come home and continue working with him, or just kind of the...
That's an interesting point though, Michael, in terms of making it attractive to come home. Like Tom, you didn't set out to do that. You've just been operating to farm to the best of your ability all your career, really, in farming.
I suppose, I don't know, we were lucky. The lads, Mary was able to stay at home when the lads were small, and they were reared here on the farm, and she always had them out from young age, little buckets and bringing minerals or whatever, feeding cows, hunting back other ones they didn't like, and playing with the cows around the yard. So there was a time when I remember they'd sit on your wellies at dinner time, so you couldn't go without them. All these stages, but it was great fun, and it was great training for them, I suppose, too. But it was always enjoyable. I probably missed a lot of school matches, but Mary was at them all. One or the other of us always, and it's a great place to bring up children. And when you see it every day, I suppose you get to like it and have an interest. Like Michael stayed at home straight after college. We asked him, would you not go work somewhere for a while and see a bit of the world? But he said, no, I want to come home. And, that was great for us, but it was his own decision. If he wanted to go, we'd have tipped away until maybe he would never come back if he got a taste of another career, but maybe he would, but it worked out fine. People were saying, oh no, he should go, and he should, but it's whatever the individual, if they're happy to stay, let them stay. Yeah. If they're happy if they want to go, let them go. You can't.
And it was Michael's decision, like.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah. But he also knew, like, Angela would have made it good a farmer, like the older girl, but Angela and Michael, they're like inseparable. And oh no, it's Michael's farm, So yeah, if he goes any time in the future, we'll be ringing Angela.
There's a plan B.
That's why I had to stay at home straight away in case Angela came in.
So Michael, I suppose just bring us forward to today, or in the last couple of years. I suppose you've excellent performance in the cows, and like you said, Tom had been doing a fantastic job down through the years. When you look at the board today in terms of the progression of the farm and the progression of the herd themselves as well, like there's always been forward momentum in the herd, and you're up to 544, 548 kilos delivered last year, and on target to probably do something similar again this year. But like you said, actually in the forum this morning, that you were kind of maybe drifting in the wrong direction at one stage. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, we were right on the. We were going to stay. If we stayed going the way we were still in a great position. We were calving them there from the 20th of January onwards. We were still staying roughly around the 1 kilo or 1.7 kilos a meal per kilo of milk solids, but we were milking them longer, and maybe we're slightly lower stocked on the milking platform. We were kind of delivering 560 kilos of milk solids, 570 kind of kilos of milk solids, but
we didn't have enough land basically for the cows we had, but we were managing, we were getting by with the 250 limit. But then when Bandon came in and all the limits on organic nitrogen, we had to get more land, and we needed to stay in the middle band. So we found that was be at the top of the middle band. It's where we wanted to be. So that was the change in direction, if you like.
But I suppose you put a positive enough spin on that this morning, which was great to hear. Like,
Well, we had less cows back then, so we had more of a run on the milking platform for the two shoulders of the years. But I suppose the positive spin we put on it anyway was that we kind of looked at the problem, reevaluated it, and realised that maybe go back to the grass base or low input, high grass system that kind of Ireland, I suppose, is renowned for, kind of a thing. So we started calving them later and feeding less meal. But like that cow at 570 kilos milk solids delivered is still a good cow. Like, but we are more stocked on the milking platform, the two shoulders of the year now, with the more cows than previous. But yeah, look, we did reevaluate it, and it does work better. Cows were straight out to grass. Like last year was a super grass year, and they didn't miss a day's grass from when they were calved to, I think it was in November. Like, it is a better low cost, higher margin system now that we pull back into the middle band. Even the cow we're breeding, I suppose, is a more easy going cow, more searching for percentages, kind of. It is. Yeah, it probably wasn't a bad thing, I suppose, in one way, but still wouldn't have mind not having to go through Bandon, I suppose. But yeah, look, we're working within the goalpost changed, but we're still aiming towards the goals, I suppose, is kind of what we're doing at the moment anyway.
Very good. And I suppose just in terms of how this year's going for you, because Tipperary, in terms of the NDC, have managed to do what the Tipperary County hurlers couldn't do, and have put, I had to get that one in. Have managed to put 2 together in a row. So how's this year going in terms of milk quality and fats and proteins for you?
Yeah, good now. Say the heifers that came into the parlour this year were all the first of the heifers that we genotyped as calves. And we said we go hell for leather with that system, that whatever it says on the genotype for fat and protein, that we'll pick those heifers as our replacements ones. And to be honest with you, we're really impressed with it now. It has correlated very well, and we'll have no problem continuing going with that. Like there's some heifers there in the parlour that would have now only averaging cows, and we probably wouldn't have kept them previously, but their genotypes came back, and we believed in it, and it has worked anyway. The protein has been going well this year as a result of that, I suppose, and the grassland management too. Like, we've been, not tooting our own horn, but we've been fairly on top of it. Kind of like the protein hasn't dropped or gone back since we've kicked off, kind of in March anyway. Which is, the grass quality, even though it is growing mad, we seem to be able to get a handle on it anyway. We did a lot of correction there in early May. We were kind of proactive with the grass management thing. We started doing small bits of primo, and not that the quality was bad. You still have to have good quality when you're primo, and there's no point primo and bad stuff. Cows are selective grazers, and if you're making them eat dirt, they'll only produce dirt. We've 34% of the milking platform cut out in bales. As much as we give out about the rain, it's brilliant for growing grass this time of the year. And since the spring, it was a challenge in spring, all right, but since the spring we've kind of been able to manage, and it's going well, I suppose, is the way you'd say it anyway. This year, I know the price isn't great, but the grass is definitely playing ball and keeping the cost down, we're happy enough with it that way, kind of.
Very good. So, Tom, I'll get you to give me the last word here. You've been threatening Michael there now that he's not guaranteed that Angela might get the call up yet. But you were running a very good show, which is an important piece in the and Mary has said this to me before as well, about that piece that you said about the lads being involved from a very young age and so forth. But what advice would you give to people out there that are maybe where you were 7 or 8 years ago, with someone coming home from college or whatever? And like you said, Michael's probably unique nearly at this stage that he actually came home and stayed home from college. A lot of people do tend to go away, and you had given him that option. But what advice would you give to people that are trying to make a decision? Obviously, I know from the couple of times I have met you that was well talked out between yourself and Mary and the lads then as well subsequently. But we'll say, what kind of tidbits of knowledge can you maybe pass on from your experience of it, maybe?
Yeah, well, look, every situation is unique, I suppose, and depends on how interested somebody is. If you're trying to coax them to stay at home, I'd say maybe let them go. You know what I mean? You'll know yourself. Everyone will know whether the person is interested in it. If they're mad to go, let them go, and they'll come back if they have a genuine interest in it. And you can learn a lot. Every experience is adds to their development, and there's nothing wrong with going. Maybe it's the right thing to do, but the main thing is that the person that's planning to take it over likes it and feels it's the right time to do it. More so than the parents' time. Maybe it's the right thing to lease it out if the parents aren't able for it for a while, and let the person come back. Whatever. Just make a plan, I suppose, is the main thing, and have everyone happy. Don't cajole or force somebody to come in on board unless they want to. I'd say it'd be the main thing. Because it's like anything, you'll only be good at it if you like what you're doing.
Well, you must really like what you're doing, Michael. So look, lads, thanks a million for taking time out of today, because you've huge work put into the preparation for today, and I'm sure you'd like to kick back and relax now at this stage, and Tom might say you're hungry. So I won't come between you and the burger any longer. So thanks very much for all the work and effort that you put into preparing for today, and I wish you continued success into the future, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Stuart.
That's all for this week's episode of the Dairy Age podcast, and my thanks to Tom and Michael Ryan for joining me on this week's show. Don't forget to rate, review and subscribe to the podcast. You can listen on Apple and Google Podcasts as well as Spotify. And for more information, go to the Teagasc website at teagasc.ie. I'm Stuart Childs, and join us next time for your Dairy Age.